Hey, y'all bear with me here. I should preface it, but I'm not. Listen to Leanna Wen. Leanna Wen is the Asian chick on CNN that was formerly an advocate of some of the most authoritarian bullshit surrounding COVID's lockdowns and mandates pertaining to that. And listen to what it is that she's saying now. And she is, of course, this medical doctorate, and she's way more knowledgeable, supposed to be, than I am or you are. So that's all I'm going to preface it by saying. Listen to this heifer. Let's take a look right now.
Bianna, this study is sobering, but not at all surprising. We know that school has benefit for children, and therefore when kids are pulled out of school, and also with the uncertainty of not knowing when they're going to go back, that has detrimental impacts, certainly on emotional well-being, on stress, including of the parents and caregivers who now don't know what to do about working at the same time. But also now we see that there are very specific impacts on cognitive development, on motor, and other
Remember, she just said, now we see that. Continue on.
Milestones for children. Also, we see that there are huge disparities in the study, that those parents and families that are the most vulnerable, most disadvantaged, are the ones that are hurt the most. And so at this point, we really need policies that aim to keep children in school. Perhaps, for example, not having quarantine if children are exposed, having test to stay or other programs. And we also need to be attentive to these long-term consequences. Can we work to close these rampant and wide educational disparities?
All right, now that's rich coming from her punk ass, because she was one of the primary advocates of a lot of the policies that led to exactly what happened. And there were so many people, doctors that were laughed out of the room, people that understood child development and all that, saying that this sort of, it's less about the atmosphere of being in the school and more about that quick change that would hinder some ability to, like she's referring to, motor abilities and such. This was all spoke about. This was all highlighted by so many people that are not only, again, in the same industry that she is, but other folks as well. And they were laughed out the room because it was always about my health. It was always about keeping people safe, or the teachers safe, teachers unions advocating for all of these sorts of policies that kept these schools closed down. And this isn't just referring to the public schools, which are the most rotten pieces of shit, and why y'all still send your kids there, I don't know. But private schools as well, they wanted to, it basically shut all of that shit down. And so many folks said that was among the worst things you can do. I remember Kanu Wachowski talked about this, even regarding to the disease element of it. It was like, why in the fuck would you shut down the schools when you have that population of people that pass diseases and like more so viruses around each other? That's how they fucking built their immune system in the first place. And they're at least vulnerable. And this is back like fucking March, April of 2020. And he got laughed out the room by bringing it, said they never should, those are the main ones that should have been open, and they should have been spreading that shit around as long as they could. But that's not what y'all did. Instead, you shut their ass down, and then when you brought them back, you put them in little plexiglass bubbles and separated them from, again, why y'all were sending y'all kids to what were effectively jailhouses. I think that says a lot about your bitch ass as a parent, and you should be criticized for that. Either way, we're in the situation that we're in. We have folks like Leanna Wen. This isn't the first time as of recent that she's done this, where things that she advocated, now all of a sudden she's coming to terms and say we have to stop this. And she's going to see no consequence to what it is that she said and what it is that she's done. She's not going to see any consequence to that. She's just now trying to get on the other side, because now their handlers, they no longer, the cat's out of the bag, it's scratching the walls, it's going fucking crazy. So you got to acknowledge that it's there. And that's what she's doing now, trying to get on the other side of it, saying, well, yeah, we see that all these cognitive deficiencies are happening. It's harmful to their development because of all these. Like, wait a minute, y'all were the ones advocating for that. How do y'all get to say this? And again, this was not something that could not have been avoided, because there were already so many people that were highlighting exactly that. Yet you still went and did what you did. You wouldn't remember Leanna Wen talking about, oh, we no longer have the carrot to dangle in front of you. That was all the shit y'all was talking. So that makes you the abuser. If there is to be a thing that sucks out of all of this, I mean, aside from the small business closures and everything else that it come with, and of course people's kids having some cognitive disabilities because of this. Aside from that, it's the fact that all of the people that advocated for the policies that led exactly to that environment are going to get away with the loot. That's my fundamental problem. People that belong under, not in the jail, under the fucking jail, are gonna get away with it. Though that's the part that fucking sucks.
You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.